See, when you find yourself in a situation that you don't like, when you find something that you want to change, before you can fix any problem, you have to diagnose it properly. In order to diagnose a problem, however, you have to have the proper sight. And in this case, I'm going to talk about a different kind of sight than the kind of sight that we have in our eyes. I'm going to talk about a deeper kind of sight called Basira. Basira is an inner sight. Basira is insight. Basira is the ability to see and understand the world, which is not with our physical eyes. Because a lot of people may have perfect 20/20 vision with their physical eyes, but are completely blind with the true sight of the heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that there are a people who are blind, but it is not their eyes that become blind, it is the heart inside their chests. See, the thing is, a lot of us believe that we understand and comprehend the world through our physical eyes and our mind, but in reality, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that the heart is the apparatus by which we see the world. It's the apparatus by which we comprehend and understand the world. And that's why Allah says, لَهُمْ قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا, that they have hearts that they don't understand with. لا لهم قلوب لا يعقلون بها, that they have hearts they don't reason with, that this apparatus of our heart is how we are going to understand the world. And if the heart is warped, if the heart is covered, if the heart is not working properly, then our understanding and sight of the reality around us is not going to work properly. And that's why Allah warns us about this kind of blindness, the kind of blindness where the heart is blind. Right now, we are facing a situation with a lot of confusion. Right now, when we look around us, it looks dark. And it's hard to know which way to go. Different people saying different things. Who am I supposed to believe? Which group am I supposed to follow? Which website am I allowed to read? And so there's a lot of confusion. And whenever there's confusion, you are not going to find your way by simply giving that task to someone outside yourself. Yes, we need to seek knowledge. And yes, we need to seek the people of knowledge. But I'll tell you this. If this room had blinding lights, right now the blinding light's only in my face, but if this room had blinding light all over the room, and you had a blindfold on, would you be able to see the light? The answer is no. Unless you are able to see, unless you remove your blindfolds, you cannot actually see what's in front of your face. So this is a role that no one can do for you. See, you can have the most amazing teacher in the world, but this is a job that you have to do individually with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is, you have to polish the lens. That lens is the heart. The heart is how you are going to be able to see the world. You have to take care of the heart so that it's healthy enough to be able to receive that light. Because again, unless you remove the blindfold, all the light in the world isn't going to reach your eyes. And unless the heart is prepared to receive light, unless the heart is prepared and clean and able to receive, you could be surrounded by all the light in the world. You could be surrounded by the most knowledgeable teachers, but you won't be able to see your way unless you actually prepare the heart to be able to receive that. And that's something that we have to do individually. We have to be able to clean our hearts such that we're able to see things for what they are. We're able to see that path, because you can't follow a path that you can't see. You have to be able to see right from wrong. We have to be a people who constantly ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'a. Oh Allah, show us truth as truth, because there's so much confusion. وَأَرِنَا الْبَاطِلَ بَاطِلًا وَارْزُقْنَا الشِّنَابَ. And let us see falsehood as falsehood and bless us with staying away from it. One of the biggest problems and the first problems is that we don't see things for what they are. We are confused. We are not able to distinguish right from wrong, black from white, up from down. And until we clean the lens, we won't be able to see that, and we won't be able to diagnose the problem. Now, in order to take care of that lens, we have to clean it. We also have to protect it. I warn you, and I warn myself, from something that's very, very easy to do right now. It's a subtle point, but it is extremely dangerous. And that is focusing on the problem itself. See, one of the most powerful stories to me is the story of Musa alayhi salam in front of the Red Sea. I feel like within this story, it's like a narrative that explains our whole condition and the reactions that we have when we are faced with challenges. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us in this story, He compares and contrasts the reactions of different people to the same external event or the same external obstacle. فَلَمَّا تَرَاءَ الْجَمْعَانِ قَالَ أَصْحَابُ مُوسَى إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. When Musa alayhi salam is now trying to escape Pharaoh, there's a Pharaoh following behind with his army. And now him and his people are they're in front of the Red Sea. And there's an army behind them. And this is a superpower army. And they're a group of slaves. And now they're put in this very, very difficult situation. Do we find ourselves in a difficult situation just now? Yeah, kind of. We have only a couple more days, right? We are in a very difficult situation. And when Allah says, when the two groups saw each other, the people of Musa, قَالَ أَصْحَابُ مُوسَى إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. The people of Musa alayhi salam said, we will indeed be overtaken. That's exactly how many of us felt after the last election. We indeed will be إِنَّا لَمُدْرَكُونَ. And that's a very natural reaction to being stuck in front of the Red Sea with a superpower army behind you. It's a natural reaction that we had. But I want to tell you something amazing, and that is the reaction of Musa alayhi salam. In that same exact situation, he's looking at the same situation, but his basira, his heart is looking at and focused on something else. قَالَ كَلَّا. He said, no, by no means. The word كَلَّا, as you know, is a very emphatic no way, absolutely not. قَالَ كَلَّا إِنَّ مَعَيَ رَبِّي سَيَهْدِينَ. Indeed, my Lord is with me, and He will guide me through this. The reason why I love this story so much is because this story isn't just a story. It's awesome, it's something we tell our kids, but it isn't a bedtime story. It is a sign, and Allah actually continues to say, إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةً, that indeed in this is a sign, but most people don't get it. Most people don't understand. It is, you and I are never going to be in front of a large body of water with an army behind us, but we are going to be put in situations where we feel trapped, and we are going to be put in situations where we don't see a way out, and we feel that way just now. We feel that way politically. We feel that way socially to a large degree. But what's so powerful here is how was Musa alayhi salam able to respond in that way? How was he able to say, no, we will not be overtaken. No, I'm not going to be shaken. I'm not even worried that we're going to be overtaken. Why was he able to do that? And the answer is because his focus was not on the problem. His focus was not on the Red Sea, and his focus was not on the army. His focus wasn't on Trump. His focus was on Allah. His focus was that no, Inna ma'aya Rabbi sayahdeen, my Lord is with me. And if Allah is with you, you don't have to worry. He will guide me through. Allah is teaching us a timeless lesson. We're gonna be put in situations where we feel trapped. That's a promise. We're gonna be put in situations that look impossible. And what also strikes me about his story is that he didn't know how he was gonna get out of that situation. It's not like people were going around splitting seas. This wasn't like a regular occurrence. And yet he did not worry, even though he didn't know how. See, for us, it's easy for us to say, oh, it's no problem because I got a plan, A, B, C, D. We know exactly how it's going to happen. But when you don't have any idea how it's going to happen and you still put your trust in Allah, that is tawakkul. He knew Allah is with me and He will guide me through. Now y'all are going to say, but what about doing our part? I know I'm at Mass. What about doing our part? And the reality is, what's so beautiful about this story is that although obviously Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was going to save him, Allah still asked Musa alayhi salam to take action. He's asked him to do something. He asked him to take his staff and strike the sea. And so he was still asked to take action. We are still asked to take action. Tawakkul and action are not separate. They have to go together. I'aqilha wa tawakkal, as the Prophet ﷺ says, that you have to tie your camel and at the same time your trust is in Allah. Don't think that they're separate. So often I hear this translated as tie your camel and then put your trust in Allah. That's not what it says. It says i'qilha wa tawakkal. When the man was told by the Prophet ﷺ, tie your camel and put your trust in Allah, the two are simultaneous. We don't work and then depend on our work and depend on our deeds for results. No, we work and we depend on Allah for results.